We're going to take a look at some 49ers trade candidates that the Niners could deal prior to the start of the 2023 NFL season. This is the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Hope all of the faithful is getting set to have a fantastic weekend. I am wearing a fantastic polo from our friends at True Classic, our sponsor for today's show, and they have a phenomenal deal for the faithful. 25% off if you use the promo code CHAT at trueclassic.com/chat. I'll tell you what, I love summer. Long days, warm nights, barbecues with friends. You can hit the golf course. You can do so much, especially when it's lighter or longer. But on top of all of that, it's the perfect excuse to wear my favorite t-shirts, polos, and shorts from True Classic. Everything they make, crafted to make you look and feel your best through the dog days of summer with breathable fabrics, perfect fits, and prices that simply cannot be beat. And right now, they're giving our listeners and viewers 25% off at trueclassic.com/chat. Just insert the code CHAT at checkout for that deal to apply. And oh yeah, if you need new shorts, I wear those too. True Classic has you covered on that end. Whether you want something for the gym, the beach, or a night out with friends, they're chino shorts, my personal favorite, with two different lengths, 7.5 inches, 9.5 inches, and a range of colors for any occasion. Crafted with 4-way stretch fabric, they have the flexibility to go from work to play without skipping a beat. Hell, they've got so much movement, I can knock out a few reps with them as well as I'm going out on my runs and lifting some weights like I was this morning in my True Classic gear. Speaking of the gym, their line of quick-dry active shorts, a must for your summer workouts. Whether you're training, running, just moving through the day, these shorts are all about performance and style. They're made with that stretchy, sweat-whipping blend that keeps you cool and comfortable. They also feature a comfort liner that acts as a high-performance boxer brief. So one more time, it is trueclassic.com/chat. Spice up your wardrobe this summer like I've been able to do on air and off air at trueclassic.com/chat. We'll put that link in the comment section and in the description of this video. Shirts, polos, shorts, whatever you want, True Classic has you covered. All right, without further ado, let's take a look at these three intriguing trade candidates for the San Francisco 49ers here. And I want to begin with somewhat of a surprising name who could be of great value to another team across the National Football League. That is second-year man Jordan Mason. Now, teams throughout the preseason and in training camp figure to scour the running back market. Why? It's a position group where naturally an injury or injuries could happen, and you never want to be scrambling trying to fill a position of need heading into the season. Jordan Mason, why he could be valuable, young, talented, affordable, and that makes him a very valuable asset. I'm really high on the player, and I wouldn't trade him, but if the offer is too steep, sometimes you might have to be willing to trade a UDFA for some draft capital. My bold prediction for the Niners here in 2023, I think that Jordan Mason could be running back 2 behind Christian McCaffrey, and he's certainly capable of doing that. Elijah Mitchell is always injured. I think that Jordan Mason brings you something that you lack in that running back room, physicality, and throughout OTAs, he displayed something that Elijah Mitchell cannot do. That is pass-catching ability. He was one of the leaders in yards after contact last year among qualifying runners. And in weeks 11 through 14, when he actually had a large sample size, when Elijah Mitchell was out and he's been off injured throughout his career, Jordan Mason played good football. 28 carries, 196 yards, 7 yards per carry, had his lone touchdown of the season at the end of the year against the Las Vegas Raiders. I wouldn't trade Mason. I think he can be a baller, but he is a trade candidate for San Francisco. I will tell you this. I'm not sure if any of these guys get traded, but if any of them do, or if the Niners make any moves of any caliber, we're going to talk about it right here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. That's why you subscribe to the show. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers. We're going to get there at some point throughout this 18-week, 17-game schedule, and hopefully it results in another Niners Super Bowl, the 6th in franchise history. Join the ride. Join the movement. It's the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. Hit that sub button right now. Trade candidate numero dos, Sam Darnold. So let's talk about why Sam Darnold could also get traded here. And this would come just months after the Niners signed him at the start of NFL free agency. One quarterback injury among all 32 teams could drastically change the quarterback market. And let's say that Sam Darnold has a pretty good camp for the Niners. He lives up to the billing of him being that third overall pick by the New York Jets a few years ago, coming out of USC when he had that awesome pro day, throwing in the rain. He was slinging the rock all over the yard. And if Kyle Shanahan is able to make him a reclamation project, San Francisco could get solid value back for a cheap quarterback who's still young, and while he has been erratic, he's experienced, has a strong arm, and very, very solid athleticism. Now, I think that people should pump the brakes a little bit about Sam Darnold's potential for the Niners here in 2023 if he gets playing time. And I find this pretty funny that everybody wants to point to the final 6 games of what Darnold did with the Carolina Panthers in 2022, when yes, he did go 4-2, but it's not like the numbers were insanely productive and people act as though he was an elite quarterback during this stretch. He completed under 59% of his passes, which continues to be a problem throughout his NFL career. He only threw for 1,100 yards. He got sacked 10 times, 7 touchdowns, 3 picks. Yards per attempt were pretty good at 8.1, and the supporting cast was somewhat depleted, obviously without Christian McCaffrey, who in the meantime was balling out on the other coast for the San Francisco 49ers. But can we not act like Sam Darnold was one of the best quarterbacks in the league during this stretch? Some people were using that narrative to support the reasoning behind why they think he should get action for the Niners here in 2023. Just relax. I do think that Kyle Shanahan can bring the best out of him. He's been able to do that with C.J. Beathard, Nick Mullins, Brock Purdy, Jimmy Garoppolo. Sam Darnold could be that next guy, but come on, the sample size is pretty long, and up to this point, Darnold has been well below average. So which quarterback gives the Niners the best chance to win this upcoming season? Drop those names down. I'm going to go with Brock Purdy just because of how he played last year. And he also led the league in quarterback rating when he was playing the back half of the year. Give me Purdy there. Another trade candidate here for the Niners. Let's remain here in that quarterback room with Trey Lance. Trey Lance trade rumors have been simmering throughout this entire offseason. If Trey Lance either loses the quarterback 2 battle to Sam Darnold, is it time to move on? You're giving him then a change of scenery to help really rejuvenate and restart his career. But the spin zone to that previous point is this. What if Trey Lance spins it? He increases his trade value. He has a good joint practice session against the Las Vegas Raiders, plays well against the Raiders in the preseason, and throughout the preseason, he displays growth. He displays accuracy, but Sam Darnold does the same, and Brock Purdy is healthy, and the Niners either way are going to move forward with Brock Purdy as their number 1 quarterback. Do you get maximum value back for Lance to a quarterback-needy team? Let's say that another quarterback across the league is really struggling, and they look at Trey Lance as a guy who's still in his early 20s, 6'4", 225, strong arm, limited experience, and if he gets more experience, maybe they can iron out some of the wrinkles and the inconsistencies. We know the Niners value mid to late picks in the draft. They do a good job of identifying and developing talent there, and if they can find a way to trade any of these guys for maximum draft capital or at a different position of need, you can't call me crazy for saying that these players could be put on the trading block. Strengths and weaknesses of Lance. This is why another team might be interested in him. This is why the Niners might still be high and bullish on him. Intriguing athlete, 6'4", 225, does have a strong arm. He can hit the home run ball. He's mobile, very good runner. Good pocket feel and pocket mobility. If you actually know ball and go back and watch what he's been able to do. Still only 23 years old. You can continue to mold him. Let's not act like his career is already over and he's a definitive bust when the guy has made 4 starts and nobody really knows. He just needs experience, and the lack of it is certainly a weakness for the 49ers, who are ready to compete for a Super Bowl. The accuracy is indeed a problem. That's the biggest thing, in my opinion, that's holding him back. I think he could do a better job of layering throws to that second and third level, because sometimes he just has to zip it in there. You have to throw a catchable ball sometimes. Make it easier on your wide receiver. What else is an issue is that Lance has been banged up and injured through 2 seasons, and he's made some wow plays. Houston Texans against a couple of teams in the preseason. He was able to take the top off of the defense, but he has to be able to hit those layups and those easy throws and reads within Kyle Shanahan's offense. And if he doesn't do that in an offense that is at its best and most consistent, when the quarterback is making some of those easy throws, then he'll continue to see the bench and Brock Purdy, who can throw accurately, decisively, and get the ball out in rhythm on time to his playmakers. He'll continue to get snaps for this team as long as he's healthy. So let's round out with this. Get spicy here. Predict a bold move that the Niners make prior to the season. Have some fun with this one. Want to go back and see what you all come up with, and maybe we can frame that into a future show, as you could be a little bit of a content creator here on the Niners Report. And feel free to interact with me on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Senior. It is a slow portion here throughout this NFL offseason. But keep in mind, training camp begins July 25th. And from that moment until basically February, we're going to continue to cover this football team like no other YouTube channel out there. So hit that sub button. Hit me up on social media. Look forward to hearing from you, and hope you all have a great weekend.